Today's lesson is 8.6.2, Solving Rational Equations. Let's take a look at our first example. All I need to do here is things we've done before, starting with cross multiplication. So I would look at this 4, which is in the denominator of 3/4, and I would multiply that by the numerator 3x minus 2. So 4 times 3x minus 2. Likewise, I would multiply 5x minus 1 by 3. So 3 times 5x minus 1. From here, I would distribute the 4 through 3x minus 2 and get 12x minus 8. And I would distribute the 3 through 3 times 5x minus 1 and get 15x minus 3. Now, I will add 8 to both sides. So 12x equals 15x plus 5. Now I must subtract 15x from both sides to attempt to isolate my x terms. So negative 3x equals 5. Divide both sides by negative 3. And I would find that x equals negative 5/3. For this next example, we'd use the exact same process. Keep in mind, 3 is the fraction 3/1. So begin with cross multiplication. 3 times x minus 5. 1 times 2x minus 7 is just 2x minus 7. I need to distribute the 3 through the x minus 5 term, finding 3x minus 15. Add 15 to both sides, and find 2x plus 8 equals 3x. Subtract 2x from both sides, and x equals 8. Here is one more example. Begin with cross multiplication. 5 times x plus 3 equals 3 times x minus 1. Now let's distribute 5 through x plus 3. This will become 5x plus 15. Distribute 3 through x minus 1. Becomes 3x minus 3. Now I will add 3 to both sides. 5x plus 18 equals 3x. Subtract 5x from both sides. (18) equals negative 2x. Divide both sides by negative 2. X equals negative 9. Now let us look at an application question. Mr. Grande and Bill Nye the Science Guy have 100 milliliters of a solution that is 30% acid and 70% water. How many milliliters of acid do we need to make a solution that is 60% acid, one that is 90% acid, and could it ever be 100% acid? So, the first thing I need to look for, I need to find how to make my 100 milliliter solution 60% acid. My first step will be finding how much of my 100 milliliter solution is acid to begin with. I know 30% of this solution is acid, so 100 milliliters times 0.3, which is 30%, equals 30 milliliters. So I have 30 milliliters of acid in my original solution. Now I'm looking to make this mixture 60% acidic. I will need to add some amount of acid to my solution to increase the acidity. Therefore, the total milliliters of solution I have will go up just as does the amount of acid I have. Treat this just like the previous examples. Our first step here is in fact to cross multiply. So 0.6 times 100 plus x equals 30 plus x. Distribute this 0.6. 60 plus 0.6x equals 30 plus x. I will subtract 30 from both sides and get 30 plus 0.6x equals x. Now I need to subtract 0.6x from both sides. 30 equals 0.4x. When I divide both sides by 0.4, I find that x is equal to 75. But we must remember that since this is an application question, we do in fact have units. So this is 75 milliliters. Take this time to pause this video and attempt to try to find the amount of acid we would need to add to find a 90% acid solution. Now let's go over what you found. The setup is exactly the same as looking for the 60% solution. We'd like to find our 90% solution. This equals our initial amount of acid plus some amount of acid all over the total amount in our original solution plus that same amount of acid. This is similar to 0.9 over 1. So all we have to do is cross multiply. 0.9 times 100 plus x is equal to 1 times 30 plus x, which is still just 30 plus x. Distribute the 0.9, which gives us 90 plus 0.9x equals 30 plus x. Subtract 30 from both sides and we would find 60 plus 0.9x equals x. Subtract 0.9x from both sides. 60 equals 0.1x. Divide both sides by 0.1 and we should find x equals 600 milliliters. Finally, this question asks us, could it ever be 100% acid? The answer is no. And that is because if we look at our beginning, our initial solution is 30% acid and 70% water. So it will always contain water.